Hello everyone, this is a review of Tasker, the to-do app found on the Mac OS App Store as well as on the iOS App Stores. I am a serial purchaser of these sorts of programs, and this is the newest purchase that I've made. I'm trying it out, and you'll notice down here at the bottom, things is still my go-to. I've got a lot more things to do in that app than I do in Tasker. But I just wanted to show you how the progress of this is coming along, some of the features that I like about it, some of the things I dislike about it, and what you might expect if you wish to use it. The one good thing about it, right off the top of the bat, it has some things that I like that are not available in the app things. On top of all that, it's a lot cheaper. Right now, as of April of 2017, Tasker is $7.99 in the Mac OS App Store in the United States, and I believe it's 99 cents in the iOS App Store. So let's get started here. Tasker is a to-do list, works well with GTD, even has the inbox as a default, and Focus is also a nice addition. Overall, the design is pretty clean. It's not quite to Things level, but it is getting there. And it's not quite as polished overall, a little flatter design than Things, but it has its good points and bad points. So let's talk about it. Just to begin, when you hit a new task, this task addition dialog comes up. It's easy enough to type in a task. If we just type in test, it's going to give you the opportunity to put it in to a project. Now right now I have inbox as my default. You can also put a context, and so these are some of the contexts that I've created. Don't know why, but I have a garage context for when I'm at my garage, hospital's context for when I'm at work, church when I'm at my church, car, computer, shopping, etc. You can also pick a color, and these are kind of a pastel and a star to highlight tasks that are very important, as well as you can place tags. Now, to me, my personal opinion, I tend to get too focused on when I have so many options. So when I can pick from multiple folders and then pick from contexts and then tag, sometimes it becomes too much. But that's my personal preference, is to not quite fill all of that out. To me, it just seems a little bit of overkill. Maybe I'm just not busy enough. The next row here, this allows you to add a contact to the task. This allows you to add a file. Obviously, this is a picture, but when I open it up, it's just a file, kind of like a Windows Explorer, File Explorer, or Finder on the Mac. You can also add a location. This is like an address, some sort of thing, a link, and haven't really figured out what the phone is. Also, I guess you can Facebook or tweet about it. Not sure why you would want to do that. I'm not sure also, I haven't worked with these. I don't know if that's when it's complete, so you can tell everybody how proud you are of the task you've done or what. Due date is a picker, so you can pick it. You can even pick a time, and that's kind of nice. Along this same line, if you do pick a date, a specific date and a time, we'll say 2 a.m. or 10 a.m., we'll select that. You can select a reminder. Now, this is one of the things I don't like. Automatically, the reminder pops up for immediately, right now, today. And then you can add as many reminders as you want. But I don't like this because this is one thing where Things really excels over Tasker. in that you can say, I want to hear about it, 3 days in advance or 2 days in advance and that sort of thing. Here, where it starts out with today, to me that's kind of a pain. It looks like it should start and run backwards from the task. Priority, you got none, low, medium, high. That's just from clicking on it. And then you do have the ability to repeat a task. So you can either do from completion date or due date. That's pretty standard across most of these to-do apps. And then your frequency, or on a particular day of the week. Now, due date is an option here only because I set a due date. If I were to not set a due date, if I would just say none here and go to repeat task, due date is grayed out because there's not a specific due date. And at this time, if I were to do the task today, then just in 1 month, it's going to remind me again. Location reminder, this is contextual, so I'm not going to show you all where I live, but this allows you to select when I leave, when I arrive at your current location, or you can pick another location, and then just some notes. Okay, so we're going to create. It's going to create it in the inbox. You'll notice over here that I have set up under projects 3 groups. So I have work, home, and church. We'll just get rid of home and church for the moment and just go with my work. So in my work, I've got several roles. I've got an admin role, technical role, quality assurance role, and then just personal projects that I'm doing on work. So I can take this now and drag it into whichever project that I want to work on. I don't know why when I drag over here it automatically opens everything else. That doesn't make any sense to me, but it's there. You can also, instead of adding a new task up here, it's available to add at the bottom. You'll notice that this one starred, so it shows up in my starred box. And then you can edit your projects at the top. So here's my work projects. So this is the work group. So when you see new group down here, this is a work group, and then followed by the projects that are within that group. Obviously, if you're a fan of GTD, you can create, instead of projects being these are more like areas of focus in GTD, but you can, create it however you want. You can assign colors to projects, etc. Now, for some of the bad things, you can do your projects here, your tags and contexts, all right here. Also, you can do your projects at the bottom here. So there's a lot of different ways to get back to it, to doing the same task. But there's one thing that is really driving me batty at this time, and that's the filter. On the Mac OS app, which is what I'm reviewing here, this filter is a pain. So you can do it by due date and that sort of thing, but it's too clunky. There's not a way for me to just say, I actually have to type it in, all of the following are true. I mean, this is something that obviously still needs to be worked out and made an easier interface for the user. I don't want to have to go in and click and type and remember what my tags are. I want to just be able to go in and click on a tag. Same thing is true when I go into preferences and I get my general preferences here for the app. The badge count, you can choose it for inbox, overdue, inbox plus overdue, focus, or all tasks. Personally, I want my focus in my inbox, and that's not an option. Background image right now, they're just gray, and auto delete completed. I do like this where I can pick when it's going to delete off, and that's if I select here and it shows that it's done. It's going to stay there for a week. I wish there were a shorter option, 3 days, something like that, but it's just not there. Okay, main menu, you can choose which items are visible. Here's the other problem, focus list. Okay, this is similar to that filter. I will say on the iOS app, focus list is much better. It's usable on the iOS app. Here it is not usable. So the reason for that is, let's say I want my focus list to be tasks that are due today. So in this case, any of the following are true. So due date is less than or equal to, we'll say today's the 23rd. So you'll notice over there, those numbers are changing. If I put 423 as today, then it works. Okay, but this is the point I don't like about it. Every day you have to go in here and change it to the next day and the next day. Okay, if I come in here in a week later, it's still going to say 423 if I don't update it. Overall, I think this is a great start. I think it has the potential of replacing Things for me, especially because of the price. Things 3 is coming out supposedly next month, but it costs a lot of money for something that I already own to be updated. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll jump right onto it. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that Tasker will take its place. Hope this helps. Again, Tasker is available on the Mac OS store. I'll try to have a link in the description. And it's also available in the iOS App Store for both iPhone and iPad. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.